The FIA makes a U-turn on Verstappen's ban, Carlos gives his verdict on not being chosen by a top team, and McLaren has been told to be careful about Oscar versus Lando. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Max Verstappen has had his fair share of heated moments with the FIA throughout his Formula One journey. Recently, there are talks about the Red Bull driver potentially escaping a one-race ban in the F1 2025 season, even if he crosses the perilous 12-point threshold for penalties. This intriguing possibility has sparked speculation that the FIA might consider altering its rules to keep Verstappen on the track. So, what would lead to such drastic measures? Verstappen currently finds himself dangerously close to a ban after accruing 3 penalty points from a collision with George Russell during the recent Spanish Grand Prix. Under the current regulations established in 2014, drivers face an automatic ban if they reach 12 penalty points within a year. In 2024, Kevin Magnussen became the first driver to face this sentence, missing the Azerbaijan Grand Prix after hitting the threshold. Verstappen sits on 11 penalty points at the moment. Fortunately for him, 2 points from a past incident with Lando Norris will be wiped away come June 30th, which means he must navigate the next 2 races in Canada and Austria without incurring any additional penalties. If he does cross the 12-point line during the Canadian race, he'll be automatically banned from competing in the Austrian Grand Prix, an event that draws thousands of Dutch fans passionately supporting their driver. Juan Pablo Montoya, a former F1 driver, weighed in on the situation. He expressed skepticism about whether the FIA would enforce such a ban, suggesting instead that they might take extraordinary measures to avoid losing Verstappen from a race. On his podcast, Montoya raised crucial questions about fan reactions and the implications of banning the sport's star. He noted that with a majority of the audience at the Austrian GP being Dutch, a ban could deter fans from attending. Would the FIA risk such backlash? Montoya believes the governing body may change the rules to prevent a scenario where Verstappen is sidelined. He mused that while the FIA needs to enforce penalties, the ramifications of such actions could lead to overwhelming complications for the sport. The tension surrounding Verstappen's situation underscores the challenges the FIA faces in balancing fair competition with the demands of fans and sponsors alike. It's worth mentioning that amid this confusion, Red Bull Racing is already preparing for contingencies. They could pivot between drivers like Isaac Hajar and Liam Lawson if Verstappen were to be banned. Some reports hinted at young F2 driver Amuyu Iwasa stepping in alongside Yuki Tsunoda. However, current sources suggest Hajar and Lawson are the preferred choices for stepping into Verstappen's seat should such an unfortunate scenario arise. As the days go by, all eyes will remain fixed on Verstappen, the FIA, and the unfolding narrative around this dramatic season. Will the governing body stick with the rules, or will they do everything possible to keep one of their biggest stars on the grid for upcoming races? Only time will tell. For now, fans around the globe can only watch and hope for an exhilarating continuation to the 2025 season. At the start of the F1 2025 season, things didn't go as planned for Lawson, who faced a challenging experience as Max Verstappen's teammate. He struggled significantly, failing to make it past Q1 in both the Australian and Chinese races, which ultimately led to his replacement by Tsunoda. However, amidst the challenges, Lawson is anticipated to have a similar opportunity as his fellow Red Bull junior Hajar. If Verstappen faces a ban, Lawson may step in to stake his claim for a potential call-up. Switching gears to Max Verstappen, discussions have escalated regarding his recent punishment in Spain. Amidst calls for disqualification from outspoken personalities like 2016 world champion Nico Rosberg, FIA steward Derek Warwick defended the decision. He emphasized that Verstappen's actions, particularly during the clash with George Russell, were indeed wrong, but the FIA's response was justified and proportional. Warwick pointed out the challenges faced by drivers accustomed to winning, particularly when they find themselves in difficult situations during a race. He stated, "I think everyone has to realize that if you are a driver who is used to winning like Max, it is very difficult when things go against you." In his remarks, Warwick acknowledged the severity of Verstappen's actions and noted the precedent set by past incidents. He believes Verstappen deserved a penalty, pointing out that the FIA's approach should consider the context of each incident on its own merits. This conversation sparked renewed scrutiny about potential conflicts of interest among FIA stewards, particularly recalling a high-profile case from last season involving Johnny Herbert. Herbert resigned from his steward position after facing backlash for his critical comments on Verstappen in gambling discussions. Looking ahead, Verstappen remains vigilant as the new F1 season unfolds. He's even expressed interest in Aston Martin's performance for 2026, showcasing his ongoing competitive spirit and desire to maintain a close watch on rival teams. As we gear up for more thrilling F1 races, the dynamics within teams and the leadership of stewards will play a crucial role, and fans can expect to see how these factors influence the championship battle. There's a lot to anticipate as the 2025 season continues to unfold. Formula One 2025 has been quite a whirlwind, especially for both Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz, as they navigate through some tough transitions this season. At the heart of it, Hamilton has made a significant move to Ferrari, taking over Sainz's previous position. This major switch has opened up discussions about the hidden struggles that come with changing teams in Formula One. Sainz, now at Williams, reflects on Hamilton's challenges, suggesting that fans are gaining insight into these complexities. He pointed out that switching teams isn't just about finding a new car. It's a layered challenge that includes understanding new dynamics, setups, and team cultures. This awareness is essential, especially when we see a great driver like Hamilton, a 7-time world champion, experiencing difficulties adapting to an entirely new environment. Both Hamilton and Sainz have had sluggish starts to their seasons. Hamilton's struggles have been evident. Although he claimed victory in the sprint race at the Chinese Grand Prix, he's faced continuous hurdles, often finding it hard to keep pace with teammate Charles Leclerc. This struggle mirrors Sainz's own transition at Williams, where he's been outperformed by Alex Albon, putting additional pressure on both drivers. To underscore the difficulties they face, let's dive into some statistics. Sainz currently sits 30 points behind Albon in the driver's standings. This stark contrast in performance emphasizes how much of a learning curve both drivers are navigating in their new roles. Sainz, who has switched teams multiple times since his debut in 2015, is all too familiar with this journey. In a recent interview, Sainz expressed that Hamilton's situation sheds light on the challenges drivers face during team transitions. He noted that understanding these challenges has become more widespread among fans thanks to Hamilton's visible struggles. While adapting may seem straightforward for outsiders, Sainz emphasized that there's more beneath the surface. He recalled his own experiences at different teams, remarking that it took time for people to grasp his challenges during transitions. The reality is, without sufficient testing, many adjustments can only be made during race weekends, often putting drivers at a distinct disadvantage. This sentiment resonates among drivers who have faced similar scenarios. The adaptation period varies greatly from team to team. Sainz highlighted how multifaceted these adjustments can be. For instance, factors like engine dynamics, brake feel, tire management, and qualifying approaches play significant roles. When switching teams, one must familiarize themselves with each car's different characteristics, which can feel overwhelming. As we dive deeper into this F1 season, it's essential to recognize that both Sainz and Hamilton are not only striving for performance, but also working through the intricate nuances of their respective new teams. Their journeys remind us that behind every race, there are stories of adaptation and growth that go beyond what is visible on the track. In conclusion, the struggle is real, and as fans, we are gaining a richer understanding of what these elite athletes endure with every team switch. As Sainz and Hamilton continue their journeys, we can only hope for success and growth as they tackle these challenges head-on. Their experiences may be unique, but they serve as a reminder of the power and complexity of this sport. As we shift our focus back to Carlos Sainz, he's not only grappling with on-track competition, but also navigating the deeply ingrained dynamics of team performance. With 3 or 4 years spent in a single team, drivers like Alex Albon and Charles Leclerc develop a critical familiarity that enhances their ability to maximize performance. For newcomers, this learning curve is steep. Sainz himself emphasizes that gaining this level of comfort and understanding takes substantial time, with insights often revealed only during race weekends. The current landscape of Formula One adds to these challenges. Sainz has openly criticized the limited 3 days of winter testing, deeming it ridiculously little. He advocates for a more robust testing schedule, suggesting that expanding this to 8 or 10 days will better prepare drivers and teams alike for the grueling season ahead. At Williams, Sainz finds himself in a precarious position. Following a disappointing start to the 2025 season, he trails his teammate Alex Albon by a substantial 30 points. Nico Rosberg, the 2016 world champion and Sky F1 pundit, notes that this early gap is undoubtedly very, very uncomfortable for Sainz. While there have been moments of brilliance from him, the inconsistency has been concerning. Rosberg believes, however, in Sainz's driving capabilities and is confident he will regain his momentum. In other news, the spotlight also remains on Lewis Hamilton as he faces the scrutiny of the racing community. There's speculation about Ferrari revamping their strategies, particularly to align more closely with Hamilton's preferences rather than focusing solely on Charles Leclerc's input. This shift reveals the chess-like nature of team dynamics within F1, where every decision can greatly affect performance. Amidst the chatter of tactics and strategies, Hamilton's observations have sparked debates over budget decisions and talent management in Ferrari. He expresses concern over wasted resources, particularly when contrasting evidence about Max Verstappen's abilities comes to light. As we continue to follow the unfolding narratives within the world of Formula One, it's clear that each driver's journey is fraught with challenges. The competitive landscape is ever evolving, but the resilience and determination of these drivers promise thrilling battles on the racetrack. In the world of Formula One, competition can be fierce, especially among teammates. McLaren drivers Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri have recently found themselves in a thrilling battle for the championship title. Former Renault driver Jolyon Palmer has boldly stated that the duo can't go on being nice if they both want to claim victory this year. Palmer is convinced that one of these talented young drivers has what it takes to win the World Championship. Heading into the Canadian Grand Prix, Piastri currently leads the drivers' standings, holding a 10-point advantage over his teammate Norris. To add to the excitement, Piastri has opened a significant 49-point gap over third-place contender Max Verstappen. This rivalry is intensifying as the stakes get higher, setting the stage for a gripping title race. During the recent Spanish Grand Prix qualifying, a playful incident captured the attention of fans. Piastri jokingly pointed out that Norris was being a bit cheeky by seemingly trying to benefit from a slipstream along the pit straight. However, upon reflection, Piastri clarified that it was merely coincidence, and Norris himself downplayed any impact from his brief run. McLaren team principal Zak Brown has been clear about the team's philosophy, insisting on a let them race approach. He encourages both Norris and Piastri to contest for victory, all while maintaining a positive off-track relationship. This balance is critical as the season progresses, with both drivers closely contesting races. As Palmer noted, the rivalry could reach a down-to-the-wire conclusion in the 2025 season. The relationship between Norris and Piastri is evolving and the tension is building. Palmer suggested that both drivers are keenly aware of their competition and the need to gain an upper hand within the team. The dynamics of their rivalry were highlighted during qualifying when they attempted to outmaneuver each other on the track. Palmer observed, "I thought it was the first sign of them playing against each other." It's clear that the growing competition is starting to manifest on the racetrack. Piastri's radio comment about Norris being cheeky showed that he is no longer just fighting for points, but is now actively looking to establish dominance over his teammate. Despite their competitive nature, Palmer acknowledged that both drivers have managed to remain civil. However, with championships on the line and the potential for one of them to emerge as the champion, the stakes are high. They've still been quite nice. They're still good teammates, but it cannot go on, Palmer warned. As we look forward to the remainder of the season, all eyes will be on Pastri and Norris. Will they be able to maintain their camaraderie, or will the pressure of the championship push them to new heights of rivalry? The answer lies in the thrilling races ahead, where every point counts and the tension could lead to spectacular results. As we approach the upcoming races, it's clear that Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri are taking their competition to the next level. They can't go on being nice, remarks an insider, and Saturday at Barcelona might have shown us a glimpse of Lando's cheekier side. Both drivers are eyeing the title, making this not just a battle for McLaren's supremacy, but a chance to prove themselves in the World Championship. They haven't snagged a win yet, which only heightens the stakes. This is what you start doing Formula One for, one commentator notes, emphasizing the thrill of vying for the top spot. What makes this rivalry even more fascinating is the sheer equality between Norris and Piastri. Unlike past dynamics we've seen, where one driver pulled ahead, these two could remain neck and neck all season long. It has to go down to the wire, suggests another voice in the sport. This is a scenario where mutual respect might not last. The intensity will likely escalate. On a lighter note, Lando Norris recently brought some humor to the always tense racing environment, lightening the mood around the clash between Verstappen and Russell during the Spanish GP. Yet the laughter may soon be replaced by the serious business of racing, as McLaren's position in the championship becomes critical to maintain. Stay tuned as we watch how this rivalry unfolds, and whether friendship can withstand the fierce competition in the pursuit of glory on the racetrack. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this thrilling season. Have you ever witnessed a promising Formula One career take unexpected twists? That's precisely what's happening with Yuki Tsunoda and his dreams at Red Bull. Tsunoda's experience with the team has taken a downturn, leading Peter Bayer, the Racing Bull's chief executive, to intervene. He's making a compelling case for Red Bull's management to avoid the urge to promote Hajar, the up-and-coming rookie, as Max Verstappen's teammate. This plea comes in light of growing speculation about Hajar potentially stepping into Tsunoda's shoes due to the latter's recent struggles on the track. Now, let's shift our focus to Hajar. The young talent has kicked off his F1 2025 season in an impressive fashion, managing to score points in 5 out of his first 9 races. Notably, Hajar's standout performance came in Monaco, where he finished 6th, putting him in contention just behind racing giants like Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc, and of course, Verstappen himself. This kind of consistency has ignited discussions about whether he could see a promotion to the senior Red Bull team either this season or the next. When examining the statistics, it's clear that the rivalry within the Red Bull ranks is heating up. Tsunoda made a significant shift to the senior team earlier this season after switching seats with Liam Lawson, yet his points tally remains low, tallying just 7 points over 7 races. His recent performances have seen him falter during crucial qualifying sessions, notably in Emilia-Romagna and Spain. With Red Bull's successful partnership with Honda ending after this season, Tsunoda's future there appears uncertain. Bayer, however, has a different vision. He passionately advocates for keeping Hajar with the junior team until at least the conclusion of next season. With a touch of humor, Bayer remarked that they might have no choice but to handcuff Hajar to prevent his swift ascent to the senior team. He emphasizes the importance of allowing Hajar to learn and mature in the F1 environment before potentially taking on the pressures of being a full-time driver at the pinnacle of motorsport. Bayer's sentiments echo those from Helmut Marko, a longtime advisor for Red Bull, who recently praised Hajar as one of the season's standout revelations. After finishing as a runner-up in the F2 feeder series, Hajar has transitioned into F1 remarkably well, demonstrating why he's one to watch for the future. In the fast-paced world of Formula One, talent recognition is vital, and with Bayer and Marko's testimonials, Hajar appears to be a rising star. The burning question remains, can Tsunoda turn his fortunes around, or will Hajar take the opportunity to climb to new heights within Red Bull? Only time will tell. Marco recently spoke to the media, including PlanetF1.com, and he was quite impressed with Isaac Hajar's performance. He remarked, "Hajar is the big surprise." Marco noted that no matter where they compete, Hajar manages to deliver impressive speed and consistently strong performances. "We knew he's fast," he added, "but his level of consistency and the relative ease with which he drives has truly taken us by surprise." However, many are weighing in on Hajar's future, including 2016 world champion Nico Rosberg. He cautioned Hajar against taking any opportunity to join Red Bull, suggesting that competing alongside Verstappen might hinder his growth. At the recent Spanish Grand Prix, Rosberg advised Hajar to literally decline any promotion mentions from the team. He emphasized that Hajar is doing exceptionally well with the Racing Bulls and should maintain his position. In the meantime, Yuki Tsunoda finds himself under scrutiny, having only scored 7 points in 7 races as a Red Bull driver. His challenges have sparked discussions about whether he can get back on track, especially with the team's ongoing efforts to address performance issues. In an inspiring moment, Isaac Hajar's father recently reunited with Lewis Hamilton's father, Anthony Hamilton, at the same event, highlighting the familial bonds in the racing community. As the team prepares for upcoming challenges, the focus remains on Hajar's impressive journey and the strategic decisions he needs to make for his career ahead. Will he stand firm against Red Bull's temptations, or will opportunities present themselves in a way that reshapes his future? The anticipation continues.